Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be taking a first look, a sneak peek, I'm not sure what you want to call it, of I hesitate to call it a game. It is a game, but it is a game that was developed for a game jam that was run by Flare Path, which is a column by Rock Paper Shotgun that focuses on like strategy and war games. And what a game jam is essentially it's a competition where developers are invited to participate, and they're given a limited period of time to develop essentially a new game or a new concept that they present to, whoever's doing the judging to determine like who wins the game jam. It's kind of like a rapid prototyping event where different developers kind of show their talent and some of their capabilities, but in so doing, not publishing like a finished version of a game, not a commercial product, not something that would be ready for sale, but just something that's sort of like, here is an idea I came up with and I developed it really quickly, and this is sort of showing off my skill. And so this game is called Infernal Ocean, Denmark Strait. The developer is Jeff Ayer, and it is, it says in parentheses, Whirlaway Software, which is a development company or studio. I'm not sure if it's just a one-man shop or if there's other individuals that are in Whirlaway in the company. And they have one published game that I have played and I recorded some footage from, and I think I talked about it on our podcast a while ago, but I haven't actually gotten to posting anything on my YouTube channel, and that game's called Pacific Fire. It is a mobile game, and it is basically like if War in the Pacific ever went onto mobile. It feels like it's trying to be like War in the Pacific, but on your phone. Nowhere near as detailed, nowhere near as grungy, but like that's the closest comparison. It's like a whole Pacific Theater type game, but it's very much mobile in nature. So I wouldn't go looking at this game to try and find a War in the Pacific 2, but it is an interesting little mobile game. With that being said, today's game is called Infernal Ocean Denmark Strait, as I said, and it is the submission by these folks, by Jeff Ayer, to the inaugural Flare Path Game Jam. And so this is a short little prototype type game involving surface action, naval combat in World War II between the British and the Germans during the Battle of the Denmark Strait. So the hunt for the Bismarck, the Hood, not the whole hunt, but basically the battle between the Prince of Wales and Hood, and then Bismarck and was it Prince Eugen, as well as some of the British cruisers that were trailing. So let's go ahead and there's an instant action option where you just kind of jump into combat, but let's go ahead and start the game here. So we can choose to play as either the Kriegsmarine or the Royal Navy. The Kriegsmarine's objective is to get the German ships, the cruiser Prince Eugen, and then the battleship Bismarck to the end of the map as intact as they can. It's less about destroying British ships. It's more about getting away and into the Atlantic without taking damage. For the Royal Navy, the objective is obviously to find and sink the Bismarck. I've played this twice, briefly. When I played as the Kriegsmarine, I just kind of sailed off the map and won and didn't run into the British at all. So I think I'm going to play as the Royal Navy. There's more ships to play with. There's more, more chance of directing the action. And so that's what I'm going to go with here in this game. Why not both charcoal? Maybe. So as you can see here, we're immediately brought into sort of a 3D rendering of the world. You can see we're currently zoomed in on the Prince of Wales. We can zoom in a little bit here, and you can see that the ship is reasonably well put together here. Again, remember, this is a demo. This is a concept. But you can see here we've got the quad turret on the rear there, and then you've got... Actually, that's missing a turret on the back, isn't it? Wasn't it a... Was it a quad and a double? Or was it a quad and a double and then just a quad? Oh, shit. You can't see the boat. 1 second. Not sure why the game would do that. All right. You guys should be able to see the ship now. So you can see here, this is the ship. I'm not sure if this is, like, accurate or not. I can't remember off the top of my head if I thought it was like a 3 and 2 and 3 and 2, but I might be confusing that with another ship. in any event, you can see here we've got a quad turret on the back. You have 424. Okay, thank you, Charcoal. And then 2 turrets on the front. And there is your Prince of Wales. We have more ships at our disposal here. So, whoa, I don't know where I just went. But I just zoomed in on the HMS Norfolk, a heavy cruiser, 8-inch guns in 4 double turrets, you can see here. And again, the graphics aren't going to be like super poppin' because it was built for a game jam, but it actually looks pretty darn good for something that was developed really, really quickly. You can see there's multiple heavy cruisers here. We've got the Suffolk. We've got the ORP Pyrrhon. What the hell's an ORP Pyrrhon? This doesn't even have a British flag on it. What the hell is that? Polish Navy? Were they involved in the Battle of the Denmark Strait? So you can see here there's multiple ships. HMS Zulu, HMS Sikh, Maori, Cossack, and then we've got the Hood. Last but not least, the HMS Hood. So yeah, I mean these are the warships here that we have sailing here. And let's go ahead and take a look here. We've got some options on the right side, so you get a little bit of information about each ship. You've got your local time, the visibility of range. It's currently raining, so it's 12,000 meters. The barometer is rising. Battleship HMS Hood, or I guess battle cruiser, 47,430 tons. Armament, 8 15-inch guns, 14 4-inch secondaries. You can see those secondary turrets all along here on the side of the ship. It's currently moving at 21 knots. Its current speed is set to half ahead. You can either toggle between half ahead and full ahead. You can change your shell type between HE and AP. You can have rules of engagement to hold fire or fire at will. Kind of basic controls there. You've got time compression from 1 to 1 or 100 times. There are multiple options to view the camera. So right now we're looking at the external camera, but we can actually go aboard the bridge of the HMS Hood. Now, it's not super detailed up here. It's kind of, hey, it's just you're standing on top of a metal contraption with a tripod mast. So that's a little bit basic, but I do think it's pretty freaking sweet to look out over the front guns of the ship, the front turrets of the ship as it sort of cuts through the waves. And that, I think, is pretty sweet to be able to see. Additionally, there is a map option on here. This is where you navigate your ships. So you can see here we've got the Hood and the Prince of Wales are navigating in close together. And then we've got some additional ships out here. This is where there's some cruisers or these destroyers. I guess they're destroyers out here screening the battleships out front. Additionally, we have more ships than that. So we have some of our own cruisers that are sort of chasing the Bismarck down from the south, from north to south. We've got the HMS Suffolk and the HMS Norfolk, both sailing south, these heavy cruisers. They're sailing along this gray line here that indicates where these guys are direction, or their direction of their sail, the direction they are sailing. And if we just right-click on the map, you can extend that map out. So they'll sail to that point. I'm not sure if they stop when they get to that point or if they keep sailing. You can also see, as represented on this map, this arrow between the Hood and the Prince of Wales, as those two ships are linked in a formation, is my understanding. Same thing for the destroyers here, so they'll all sort of follow. So I'm going to go ahead and screen the destroyers out a little bit more in front of the battleships here on a little bit of an angle. You can also see red and gray lines around here. I believe red is the range at which they can engage. The gray is the line of sight that will go in and out. And then I believe in this case, green is probably radar, is my assumption, because that's only on the battleships. You don't actually have that option on the destroyers. Likewise, on the cruisers, you have radar that extends beyond their own visibility, and the range effect for the cruisers is actually greater than their line of sight. Again, based off of what I'm seeing here. So, if we go down here, we can, interestingly enough, these cruisers are not set in formation. I would prefer that they are. So all I have to do is right-click, and these guys will drop into formation with each other. So that's a nice little perk. I mean, I suppose we could have them not be in formation and spread out a little bit more to cover more ground. But for the moment, anyway, we'll leave that as is. Let's also go ahead and set the battleship to sail more parallel to the destroyers. I'm assuming the German battleships are somewhere in here, and we'll find out here. But this is the map. This is the extent of the map here that we're looking at. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. I guess we'll just speed it up and see what happens. So we'll go ahead and hit times 100 speed, and we'll have these ships sail generally toward each other and see what happens. I'm assuming the Germans are around here somewhere. We'll have the destroyers swing out wide a little bit more. Have the cruisers swing a little bit west. They've got to be here somewhere. Watch us go right by them in the rain and not ever detect them. And this is sort of this is a game for a game competition, so this is not going to necessarily be super polished. The AI may not be great. I'm going to loop these destroyers back and make sure we don't miss these guys. Where the hell are they at? Oh, shit. New radar contact, Prince of Wales, 21,995 meters. All right, so let's bring these cruisers back this way. We've got them, boys. We got them. Well, with the rain, I'm not sure that we could, although I guess it's now overcast. So we've got 2 radar contacts dead ahead of the Prince of Wales and Bismarck. Can't see anything yet, but we've got the question mark showing radar contacts. So presumably as these gray lines swing inside, we will detect them visually. Let's get it back to times 25 speed. There you go. Oh, we're engaging. Shells are incoming. Let's go check it out on the bridge. That's not the ship I want. Nope. We've engaged. We've engaged. Let's use those binos. We got smoke on the horizon. You can see flashes of the enemy ships as they fire on the horizon. That's pretty sweet looking. You got the splash of shells that they land alongside the ship. Oh, God. Oh, that was us firing. I thought we took a hit. You can see the shells outgoing just briefly, and then a whole bunch of smoke sort of obscures our vision. HMS Hood knocked out... oh, my God. The Hood lost a 15-inch turret from an 8-inch shell from Prince of Eugen? What? Oh, we're on the Prince of Wales, by the way, not the Hood. Can we see the Hood? Yeah, we can see the Hood over here. I'm assuming it's one of their front turrets? I wouldn't think an 8-inch shell would knock a turret out on a battleship, but again. So we go ahead and we take an external look here. Let's jump over to the Hood. I don't really see any indication of which turret's out of action or anything like that. You can see the ships are firing and engaging. A 14-inch shell. Bismarck knocked out, or 15-inch guns on the Bismarck knocked out from a 14-inch shell of the Prince of Wales. Good job, Prince. All right, let's get back to the map here and do some... you can kind of see the shells cruising back and forth here. Let's bring the battleship's broadside to bear, so we're going to have the formation turn left. Would be to port, right? You can see the shells incoming as well. Now, my understanding with the game is that as you maneuver, you will lessen the likelihood of enemy shells hitting. Additionally, as you increase your speed, your accuracy goes down. You can see Bismarck's armor's penetrated from... so a whole bunch of hits from the Prince of Wales. Seems to be maybe more accurate than historically was the case. But we're at quite a distance in terms of range here that we're engaging with these guys. There's not a ton of options in terms of like micromanaging control of this engagement. It's sort of, you know, put your ship in range of the enemy and have at it. In my discussion with the developer for this, he did indicate he liked the idea of potentially doing something along the lines of giving you more direct control of the ship that you're on, representing you as the admiral, but then a little bit less direct control of ships that you're not on in the final version of the product. Not totally clear like what that will end up looking like, but I know he is working on fleshing this out into a full-fledged game. I don't know if that means it's just like the Hunt for the Bismarck or if it becomes a much more... oh, shit. There was an explosion out that way. Prince Eugen suffers a magazine explosion. Well, rip to the Prince Eugen. You can see a little bit of flame here in a distance. We saw almost like a Roman candle type explosion from a distance. I didn't have my binos on it at the time that it blew up, but you can obviously see that she is a goner. You can see the Bismarck's ominous shape moving in the haze of the distance. I'm not sure what our range is currently. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how this game gets developed and sort of fleshed out, because it is a really, like, I love being on the bridge of a ship like this. That's something that I hope, like, Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts or something like that offers. I love the grainy sort of, you know, overcast and difficult visibilities that you kind of get from the bridge as you kind of look at great distances in a naval environment. I'm not sure. There's only one name on the home page of the game, and so it is again. I think he is Weir Way. Oh, there goes the Bismarck. So that might have been a little bit easy. But there we got the explosion on the Bismarck. So again, this is a game in development. I'm not sure the Bismarck would have suffered a catastrophic magazine explosion like that. Who knows? It obviously didn't happen in reality. But there you go, a major Allied victory right there. Prince Eugen sunk, Bismarck sunk. So we'll exit back out to the main menu. And Jeff Air is the name of the developer. We'll go ahead and jump into instant action. This time we'll do it from the side of the Kriegsmarine. So this isn't like the campaign battle. This is just like instantly thrust you into a hypothetical battle. You can see as the Germans, we get a little bit more in the way of ships in this. So you've got the Bismarck here. So let's see if we can zoom in here. It's very dark. But again, you can kind of see the Bismarck here. If we look at the other ships. Looks like in the instant action, Germany gets a few more options. So we've also got the Tirpitz, which obviously never sailed with the Bismarck historically, but this is sort of an instant battle. We've also got the Seydlitz heavy cruiser. She's a lot lighter. And those are our 3 ships, it looks like, in this battle. So let's go ahead and go to the map. We can see the Seydlitz, Tirpitz are all sort of anchored in on the Bismarck. Not sure where the enemy is. We'll switch to... Oh, shit. Slow down. All right. So we detected the enemy on radar. Actually, let's swing back this way. We've got the hood end on, so we've kind of crossed its T. But I don't have a good line of battle here. One thing I've noticed is the AI tends to not be great at maneuver. We got the hood on the horizon here. But it seems like when I was playing the AI in an instant action last night and trying to get the feel of things... the game tended to have the AI ships sort of just like nudge against each other and sort of like get stuck. But again, it's not... We're getting bracketed. Why are we not engaging? Does the hood have better range than we do? There's a lot of frickin' shells exploding around us. Oh god, we just had a turret knocked out. Open fire. Oh, I have your orders are to hold fire. That's my problem. Oh, God. We're just taking a shit ton of hits. It looks like we're being engaged by the British battleship Howe, as well as the Hood. Let's jump over to Seydlitz and see what it looks like on the bridge of the Seydlitz. So you can see Bismarck getting absolutely straddled up there. We're engaging as well. We knocked out a 4-inch turret on the Hood. 15-inch shell from the Tirpitz penetrated the Hood's armor and is causing minor damage. We'll go ahead and take a look at the enemy vessels out this way. Looks like we're focusing all of our fire on the Hood in the lead. They've got something off over here to the right. The explosions on the German side seem to be very different sounding. than when we were playing in the scenario as the British. So you'd think the sidelets would be screening the Bismarck a little bit. There's the turrets back here. Bismarck suffers machinery damage. Doesn't seem to be much in the way of external damage, although I'm assuming these two front turrets are the ones that are knocked out on the Bismarck because the back ones are still rotating. Looks like one of the rear turrets on the sidelets maybe... Nope, it's rotating. Maybe it just doesn't have a clear field of fire. And then we've got the turrets back here, which is rocking and rolling. It'd be cool if we could take a look at the British side, but I don't have the option, I don't think, on the map to view the external. Hood just sunk. I wasn't even paying attention. This game likes magazine explosions. I don't know if that's just sort of the default way of like how it always has ships sink, but it does look like that's probably what happened to the Hood as well. I love the smoke effects as well. Moto, I played U-Boat way back when the game first came out. It was very, very rough at the time. And was like back when the tutorial was like, send a diver down to pick up buried treasure on the the ocean floor. That kind of soured me on the game. I haven't gone back to it recently. Sidelets just took some damage. I really want to see if one of our own ships will blow up as I'm sort of engaged here to see what it looks like from the bridge when your own ship explodes. I'm not sure how many guns the Bismarck still has in action. I think the front two were knocked out, but it does look like they're still firing two 15-inchers in the rear of the ship. Yeah, this looks like a really cool concept, right? I mean, like, again, it kind of goes back to the fact that this is something that is still very, very immature in terms of the development of the game. It's definitely something that has a long way to go, but for something that was put together just for a game, I think there was a ricochet that just hit our ship in front of me, or maybe that was the penetration of the 5.2. But in terms of like, you know, a game jam, this looks like something that could be really cool. I love the bridge view. I think it kind of reminds me a little bit. Didn't Task Force 1942 have something like a bridge view, or Great Naval Battles had something like, I think our bridge just got hit, have something like a bridge view. I can't remember, but I thought Great Naval Battles of the North Atlantic at least did. But I would love something like this where you've got just this, like ability to sort of look and feel the ocean, and I don't think you get that in like a top-down experience from something like Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, which is very much... Oh! There we go. Sidelets just blew up. So it's just sort of a geyser of flame that went up above the rear turret there. You can see the fire. The ship is nose-diving. Sidelets is submerging the boat. Make depth 150 meters. Prepare tubes 1 through 4. Bismarck sinking too? Oh shit, Bismarck exploded too. It's just us, boys. It's just the turrets. She's going down by the rear. But yeah, I think magazine explosion is just the game's way of saying your ship is sinking. So we're up against the HMS Cumberland, which has 8-inch guns. She's a heavy cruiser. And then the Battleship Howe as well. Oh, man. Something seems to be wrong with our bloody ships today, boys. Sidelets is already gone. So, yeah. Not sure that I have a lot else to show with this, other than this is a really cool concept that I really hope to see developed. Also, be cool if you could like view the ship from multiple different angles. One of the things Great Naval... Oh, there we go. We just got one. Which one was that? Was that Cumberland? All right, so now it's just us and the Howe, I think. Well, didn't sound good. All right, maybe we should maneuver the ship. Well, the Howe's coming bow on, so we should have a substantial firepower superiority over the Howe. Mono, I'm not really running out of games to play per se. It's just always looking for new things and new experiences, you know, trying to be adventurous in the world of wargaming. And I think, you know, this is a really cool idea. Obviously, I think the AI has a long way to go. I would expect the damage modeling probably a long way to go. But it looks cool, I guess is what I would say. Part of me wants to hold fire and then charge in and go broadside to broadside, but I'm not sure that we'd survive that. We're not taking too much fire, though. Full ahead, sir. Full ahead by and by. Let's speed up and close. Close the distance, sir. We'll go broadside on. Wait, I told you to hold... Oh, hold fire. I don't think the Tirpitz has any torpedoes. The armament its dates are just 8 15-inch guns and 12 6-inch guns. Looks like the enemy might still be shooting at us. Yeah, two shells. At least one of their 4 turrets are still operable. We're going to go ahead and just head straight for the front of the enemy ship to minimize how much fire they might be able to get off. Ramming speed! You maintain that THG's streaming future is in karaoke? Ha, 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 ha. Oh, we just got hit. 14-inch shell hit us, causing minor damage. Let's see, boys. Let's see what we can do. We'll probably get in so close it'll be like, we can't depress the muzzles low enough to hit. Although I'm not sure if that would model that or not. Okay, that was a little bit silly. That shell should not, based on the distance that we're at, although we saw it hit on the front of the ship, that shell should not have taken that long to reach its target. We don't seem to be closing very quickly. Not sure how far off we are. Fire at will at close range. Took another hit on the front of the ship, again causing minor damage. I gave my batteries permission to open fire. They're not shooting. Oh, there we go. Knocked out a 14-inch turret there. We're going to collide. I'm guessing they won't have collision mechanics. We're going to sail right through them. Ha! Lol. Well, there's your close-up look at the Howe. Alright. Let's bring around the broadside. Howe's rudder's jammed. Oh, that's cool. Jammed its rudder. Let's swing around and get all the turrets in action. We'll go broadside to broadside with the boys. So she looks like she's stuck in a slight starboard turn. At least she's moving right. We'll go ahead and slow down to half a head to get more accurate gunfire. Our rear turrets swinging around to come into action. How did you miss at that range? Okay, that's good to know. I'm guessing the game probably doesn't really support torpedoes or just doesn't know how to model it. Although I should have looked at those destroyers when we were playing earlier, because that might be an invalid assumption. All right. Let's get back on the bridge. The bridge view is the best view in this game, in my opinion. Just gotta love the silhouettes of big ships with big guns. Alright, let's finish this guy off. We should have more active turrets at the moment. We know we knocked out at least 2 of the Howe's 14-inch turrets. Come on, men. Do a better job of getting hits. I don't know if those went long or if those hit the rear of the ship. It's hard to tell. Alright, we'll do ×5. Another enemy turret. This one a 525. Damaged by our own ships. We're gonna cross the T. Just waiting to see the Roman candle go up. The Howe's rudder's damaged again? We're gonna run circles around her, literally. Nelson class for the UK also had torpedoes. Good to know. Come on, sink the bastard. This is, it's like Bismarck in reverse. Historically, anyway. Also, my gunners need to get fired, because these guys should not be missing... There we go. There she goes. They shouldn't be missing a single time. All right, Axis victory. Not a major victory. The Seydlitz was sunk, -339. The Bismarck, 834. But we also sank the British Cumberland, the Howe, and the Hood for a victory. So there you go. That was a sort of sneak peek, first look, preview, whatever you want to call it, of Infernal Ocean, Denmark Strait, a game that was developed for the Flare Path Game Jam by Jeff Eyre of Wearaway Studio. A game that the developer has said himself is something he's working on building into a more full-fledged project, but you can, you know, mess around with this if you want to download it off of Wearaway's, I think it's off Wearaway's website. I do apologize. I know I referred to Wearaway Software as Wearaway Studios a few times in this episode. This was taken on a live stream. For whatever reason, I kept messing up the name. But the developer is Wearaway Software. And I think this is a really intriguing looking project. So I hope to see this built out and fledged out more in the future. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. I think my favorite part of this game was the bridge view. And commanding from the bridge would be really cool. You know, getting that taste of the salt water in your face as the, you know, bad weather sweeps over the bridge. It almost looks like some of the footage out of like some of the World War II documentaries, you know, like Victory at Sea or something like that, when ships are in heavy seas and you can just see from the bridge those 2 turrets over the front of the ship. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And if you are interested in the game, you can check it out and download it from Wearaway Software's website. Links in the description. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.